Hello everyone, I'm your king, Willis Mikky. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today I have some Reddit stories for you. And I will tell you this real quick, this video is going to be a bit different from how I usually cover Reddit stories. So basically, I'm going to be summarizing each paragraph of the post. If that's something you don't like, I completely understand it. But I just want to test this out to see how it works for me. And this first post is from r/relationship advice. It comes with not just one, but 2 updates. And this first post is titled, "How do I, 27 male, ask my wife, 32 female, if she cheated on me without destroying our relationship if she hasn't?" Also, this first post was posted 4 months ago. OP and his wife have been together for 7 years and been married for almost 2 of those, and they are expecting their first baby in late September. They've had problems in the past when OP falsely accused her of cheating when the wife's jealous ex-boyfriend showed OP some of her previous sex tapes and screenshots of the chat after they'd gotten engaged. This almost destroyed their marriage before it even got started and definitely left a scar on their relationship, hence why OP is actually reluctant to confront her about cheating without having any confirmation. A few weeks ago, OP started suspecting that she cheated on OP when they'd gone to one of her OB appointments and a conversation about conception dates was brought up. In OP's head, it didn't make quite sense during that time period that she would have conceived because she would have been overseas without OP. So last year in late December, the wife went back to her hometown in France to be with her family over Christmas and New Year's break. She was there for over a month. While she was in France, her ex-boyfriend, who also lives in the same town in France, messaged OP another sex tape that OP ignored at the time, believing it was another shitty attempt at ruining her life. But then later watched it when OP got paranoid after finding out the date she actually got pregnant. OP also believes that the video he sent was actually recent based off how she looks in physical details. OP says he needs to find out if she's been unfaithful so OP can make some important decisions in his life before it's too late. OP asks how does he find out if she cheated on him that doesn't blow up the family and marriage if she hasn't. How does he approach when he talks to her and ask her about it? So, before I give my commentary, let's see what the community has to say about this situation. The first reply talks about how pregnancy is measured, which means the first 2 weeks of how pregnancy is measured, technically, you aren't actually pregnant. Conception happens when you would be considered 2 weeks pregnant. Then says before you do anything, make sure you have the dates right. Then edits the comment saying, pregnancy is measured from the first day of your last period, not your missed period. The next reply just asks a question. Did you speak to her about the video he sent? The next reply says they would chill out about the conception date and how it can be wildly inaccurate. The next comment says how OP is probably messing up about knowing how to not calculate the conception. Then says how if she's 10 weeks, that means the conception was 8 weeks ago. How it's determined is from the last period. Then somebody replies underneath that with how the conception date is actually between 11 and 21 days after the first of your last menstrual period. Then talks about getting the date, adding it up, making sure it's properly correct. But also mentions keep that in mind, it's difficult to predict when ovulation occurs and sperm can stay in the body up to a week. The next reply asks how OP can't tell if his wife is 7 years younger than she was in the last December video. Basically referencing the last video that the ex-boyfriend sent OP, which was in last December. The next comment actually questions how OP can be confused if the wife was actually in the video, if she has any distinct features like hair color, cuts, scars on her body, marks, and asks if the video is in poor quality. Then somebody replies underneath that comment with mentioning that OP said in his original post that the wife has a scar around her pubic area from waxing on their honeymoon, and she had this scar in the video. And the final comment says, basically what a lot of comments have said already, that the date is based off your last period. and mentions that this commenter's friend got their due date wrong, since at the time her and her partner was stressed and weren't having too much intimacy, so she knew the exact date of the conception. Also mentions that depends on your cycle and how long. Everyone has not had a 28-day cycle. Then says, if you can't trust her, leave her. It's a fundamental part of a relationship. If you don't have that trust, you're setting yourself up for failure by staying. And now it's time for my commentary, and I feel there's like 3 points here. Point 1, verify the dates. Now there was a lot of comments on this post about the date of conception, and that is very important. You got to make sure that's correct, because you can't just go off like maybe feelings. You can't go off stuff like that. You got to make sure of it, because let's say she is cheating on you. However, it is your kid. Let's say that she is pregnant with your kid. I would still say divorce, but you still have a baby to look after, of course. So the conception can be right, but she still can be cheating, which is a possibility. The next point is making sure that it's actually her in the video. Now, the comment we read about how there was a scar on her pubic region from a poor waxing trip on their honeymoon, and she had the scar in the video. I actually did not see OP say that in the post. Maybe OP said it in the comment section, which I did not see. Maybe he said that. I'm not sure. As I said, I did not see it. But make sure there's actual physical evidence of that cheating. Because firstly, if you're in a at fault state, that is fantastic for you. But also just having proof of it is a good thing, because, you know, she can gaslight you and say, oh, you've done this type of thing before. You accused me of cheating in the past and you were wrong, and you're wrong again, and this time she's actually doing it. That would suck. And the third thing for me is, let's say she is cheating, right? The trust is gone. If the trust is gone and you choose to stay in this relationship, kind of a morbid thing to compare this to, but it's like a body slowly bleeding out, slowly losing its blood, because the body is slowly shutting down, the body is slowly losing life. It's like that in the relationship. If the trust is 100% gone, the relationship is slowly dying. And what's the point of, rather than going to the doctor to fix up that cut that is slowly causing you to lose blood, why are you staying in a relationship where the trust is gone? So there's no point. So, OP, verify the dates. Make sure it's your wife actually in that video. Talk to your wife. That is the most important thing realistically. Talk to your wife about this all. And if you verify she is cheating on you, the relationship should be over. But as I said before, there is an update, and there is an update after that update. So let's check out this update to see what happens next in this saga. OP starts the post off by thanking everybody who has commented, but also thanking the people who criticize his actions and thoughts. Reading multiple perspectives about OP's own situation has helped open his eyes, and it gave him more of a balanced perspective on his situation. He's not so sure if he should write this update since there's so much information that was dropped on him, and he's not sure how to put it into words. A lot of people criticize OP for not telling his wife about the latest video, and a lot of people suggested OP check the EXIF data to see what date the video was created. Following everybody's advice, OP did both. He checked the metadata to see when the video was created, and the video was taken the 1st of January of 2024 at 1:18 a.m. It was sent to OP on the 6th of January of that year. OP also mentions that people were saying that the video could be edited and didn't take the new data that he was found seriously, even though it looked like a recent video. After seeing the metadata, OP sat the wife down on the couch to tell her about the video. OP went into the conversation fully prepared with a list about everything he wanted to make. He made with his therapist. He made sure not to make accusations or even make things sound like OP was accusing his wife, and OP was 100% prepared for her to blow up for not telling her about it sooner. His therapist also made a guide about how OP should deliver the information and how he should give the wife control in the situation by offering to show her the video, letting her watch it and deleting it in front of her when she was ready. OP started the conversation off by saying he received another sex from the ex when she got back from the trip. After giving his explanation, OP asked his wife if she wanted to see the video, which she said yes to. After giving his explanation, OP asked his wife if she wanted to see the video, which she said yes to. So he gave her his phone, and she pretty much immediately started to play the video as soon as OP handed the phone over to her, which didn't give OP a chance to leave the room so she can watch it on her own. As soon as OP heard the audio from the video, he immediately stood up and walked to a different room when the wife grabbed his pants leg and started profusely apologizing. OP said there was nothing to apologize for and said this was before she met him and he should be the one apologizing to her for keeping it from her. The wife asked why did OP decide to tell her now, and OP told her about his concerns, about the due date and how it was not making sense in his head, and that's when she lost it. She grabbed OP's hand and kept saying it was a mistake and that she wasn't thinking straight because the wife was drunk. OP felt his heart drop and instantly knew what she meant by her repeated ramblings. OP told her to tell him exactly what happened or he would immediately leave. So, long story short, the wife cheated on OP with the ex during her trip in France, and this was the same ex that sent the screenshots and videos to. They ended up having sex after catching up at the New Year's Eve party they both were at. They are from a small town in central France, only a population of a few thousands, and apparently they've been seeing each other at a local supermarket a few days after her arriving at her hometown. The ex and the wife has a similar friend group. They all went to the same kindergarten, primary school, middle school, and high school, and that's how they ended up at the same New Year's Eve party. She also told OP the ex admitted to hacking into her Facebook to gain access to the sex tapes she had shared with her other ex. OP says that even though she called what he did hacking, it didn't really sound like it because she hasn't changed her passwords since high school and he still knew them when he got access to all of her accounts. Then calls that situation fucking dumb. The wife begged OP not to divorce her and even tried to bargain with him, promising it was only the one time she cheated on him, promising she would be the best wife to OP, letting OP have sex with as many women as he would like, and even stopping as low as offering sexual acts. OP said he would consider staying only if she did two things: gives OP her phone so that he can see the messages and get a paternity test done. She instantly agreed to the paternity test, was a bit more hesitant on handing her phone over, but eventually agreed to it. After looking through her phone, OP found even more evidence of her cheating on him on the New Year's Eve day, as well as evidence she had cheated on OP another time from her period tracker app. She uses the app to basically track her period and sexual activity. OP just went to the days he wasn't in the same country as her and see if she had sex or not. Unfortunately for her, she was very diligent about tracking that type of stuff. By this point, OP already made up his mind about the relationship and just left. He's currently in a hotel and is planning on moving into his apartment that he's been trying to rent for a while. OP has spoken both to his solicitor and his wife and had agreed to go to counseling in order for OP to be able to go through the divorce, which will start in October. They have also agreed to get a paternity test done after the baby is born. And OP got the in-laws plane tickets to come to Australia earlier than the original plan so that they can look after their daughter. The edit is basically thanking everybody for their support and comments. OP has been advised by his lawyer not to get the paternity test done as soon as possible. It can help his case in the divorce. OP mentions the fact that he's in Australia and parental laws are pretty fair for both mothers and fathers. OP can have his name removed from the baby's birth certificate at any time if a paternity test shows that he's not the biological father. Before I give my commentary on this update, let's see what the community has to say about this update. The first commenter says, sorry for the situation OP's in, but also congratulating OP on the new chapter in his life. And also reminding OP cheaters cheat for them and it has nothing to do with OP. Just look after himself for a while, then hop back right in. Then says OP's got this. The next commenter says that this situation sucks. Checking the period tracker was a really smart move, and I do agree with that. That was a smart move by OP, not something I would have thought of, honestly. Shows that this was not a one-time thing. Cheating is one thing, lying is another, is what the commenter says. Then quotes a part from the post, promising it would only be the one time she'd ever cheat. Then continues saying, it was just the time she got caught and she got caught lying again. No thanks. The next commenter once again feels sorry for OP in the situation, and then also talks about how OP can get a paternity test done at the moment from a non-invasive test. Not sure why OP would want to wait. Did OP call out the wife for the other incidents from the tracker? The next reply says that the wife is vile. Letting the ex film another sex tape after he sent you the others, and then just says, just such a hoe. I can't lie, that really caught me off guard for some reason. I was just not expecting that. This final commenter says a lot. Mentions the fact that a paternity test can be done, so there's no reason to wait. Also says do not put your name on the baby's birth certificate without knowing it's really yours. Also stop paying for money on the child until paternity test is confirmed and that the child is OP's. It does not make sense to delay the paternity test. If the child isn't OP's, then don't waste your time, money, and your energy on your wife and the child in that way. If the child is yours, does he want to miss any appointments? Also talks about how the wife is trash for having sex with another man then coming home to have sex with OP, in that the wife could pass on an STD and potentially baby trap OP with another man's baby. Get tested for STDs and have no mercy on this woman who does not care her infidelity affects OP. She put OP's well-being at risk and would keep lying to OP's face and cheat on OP if he haven't recently seen that video. If OP hadn't received that video, she would have never told OP the truth. And if the child isn't OP's, she would never have told him. This commenter then says never give a second chance to a cheater. She would most likely do it again and even hide it better or not even bother hiding it because she would assume that OP would just forgive her because of the child and the lack of respect. Also, don't stay in a marriage just because of the child. It would not be a good principle for the child. Kids are not dumb and they'll eventually find the truth and see how much OP resents the wife, and don't trust her because of what the wife did to OP. It's not a healthy environment to raise a child and it will cause more harm than good. Then said, if the child was in OP's shoes, what advice would you give the child? Would you tell them to stay with the cheating partner that shows no respect for them and puts their well-being at risk? Those are the questions that final commenter asked, basically alluding to no, you would not tell your child to say. And now it's time for my commentary, and I should mention that the update was posted 3 months ago. And I agree with all those comments, honestly, because the wife is a liar. The wife is untrustworthy. And honestly, it would not surprise me if the baby is not yours. It would not surprise me at all. Here's the thing that's funny to me. The wife lied that she cheated during the trip. She said it was only the one time, then she got caught in another lie and got discovered that she cheated on OP again. And it's the fact that she cheated, then let the guy who was sending OP stuff in the past record her again. What a moron. What an absolute moron. If you're gonna do it, you're at least gonna do it right. Not condoning cheating, but man, what a dumb game plan that was. So OP, leave this cheater. There's no point of staying with a cheater ever. Never any point. A cheater, all they will do is hurt. Hurt, hurt, and hurt. They don't care about you. They don't care about your enjoyment. They don't care about your feelings. They don't give a fuck about your feelings. They don't care about you at all. They only care about themselves because they are selfish. That's my feelings on cheaters. And your wife, in this scenario, she is that. She is selfish. So let's check out the most recent update that was posted not even a day ago to see how this story ends. OP starts this new post off saying that many people were asking for an update and mainly asking about the paternity test. A lot has changed since the last update, which I said before, which was 3 months ago, especially OP's living arrangements with his wife. He is happy to say that he's the father. OP was with his wife in the hospital in the birthing suit when the son arrived, and stayed with his wife for 5 days at the maternity ward. They got the paternity test done even though OP was fairly sure that the son was his when he was born. Then cutely mentions that the kid is basically a big-eyed version of OP when OP was a newborn. After a week of getting swabs done, the results came back positive. Before the son was born, the OP and wife have been living separately, only interacting between them would be the wife sending OP daily messages wishing him luck and wishing him good night. After the son was born, they would still live apart, but OP would go over once a while to help feed and change the son. They still have minimal interactions and would only talk to each other once a week for the mandatory marriage counseling that would help them in order to get a divorce. OP and the wife have seen psychologists from 2 different clinics, and OP feels like they're both trying to gaslight OP into thinking that he was being unreasonable for wanting a divorce his cheating wife. And one of them even said OP shouldn't expect a modern marriage to be completely monogamous in this day and age. The first session at the counseling seemed pretty standard. A lot of OP and the wife telling each other and the counselor about their feelings, their background. After the counseling sessions continued, it was fine, but then she would start suggesting and bringing other people into the bedroom to better understand and connect to one another. So that's when OP started seeing a different one. The second one spent 2 sessions trying to convince OP it was normal for a married couple to have sex with other people outside of their marriage, and that it was selfish for OP to make a baby grow up without a father figure in the house, even if he wasn't mine. This was before they got the paternity test back. And OP tells his wife he would put the divorce proceedings on hold only if she agreed to sign a post-nup, which she immediately signed as soon as OP gave it to her. OP's plan is to wait a year before filing without any restrictions or bullshit mandatory marriage counseling. And now at least his assets are somewhat protected. Currently, OP has moved back in with his wife, but they are sleeping in separate rooms. He decided to move back in just to make things easier to spend time with his son and to look after him when the wife and her parents need a break. After being with him for almost a month now, OP decided he would be physically present in his son's life to help and raise him. OP believes it's his duty as his biological father to give him the best life possible no matter the discomfort he may feel interacting with the boy's mother. OP is now thinking about the possibility after divorce and how this will impact the boy's mental and emotional development. Then OP asks if other people have raised kids in this type of way, in this type of environment, how are they coping with this arrangement? And thanking all the comments for their concerns about OP's love life, but nothing is happening. He hasn't even started dating or having sex since finding out that his wife was cheating on him. And then OP makes an edit. He's still getting a divorce. He's just waiting until the courts allow OP to file for divorce without having to go through mandatory marriage counseling. OP also said he made the wife sign the agreement so that he can save as much of his assets as he can when they divorce. Before I give my commentary, let's see what the community has to say about this update. The first reply basically calls the therapist fucking assholes as well. The next reply says the wife is a cheater and cheating is not normal. The therapist trying to normalize and specialize infidelity will tell you that. Co-parent and get out of there. You can divorce and still be a good dad. The next commenter asks the question that is it possible to make a complaint about the therapist? It's completely unprofessional to push a lifestyle onto somebody else who doesn't want it. And OP actually replies to this comment with, he already has filed for a complaint about the therapist. He's waiting for the outcome from the Board of Australia. They have the ability to revoke their license. The next commenter says he understands OP's desires for his son, especially while he's so young. The hardest part for divorce with a child is going from seeing your child full-time to part-time. But one of the roles as a parent is to be a role model for the child in a relationship, saying the son will learn how to communicate, interact, and engage in relationships by observing the relationship and marriage. It all literally starts from birth. If you're uncomfortable, distant, or even slightly resentful in your interactions with the wife, these behaviors and patterns will be memorized for him, learned and repeated without either of the parents realizing it. Then the commenter ends it saying that OP should get individual therapy to help him process everything he's been going through. And OP actually replies to this comment with thanking the commenter for the advice. OP made the decision on the opinions of people whose parents were divorced growing up. An overwhelming majority has told OP they wish their parents stayed together. He also says he will not be seeing another psychologist based off his experience. And I will say this comment was downvoted. The next commenter asks, are you co-parenting in the same household or are you staying married? This commenter then brings up that if the son was in this type of situation, what advice would he give to his own son if a woman treated him this way? And OP replies to this comment saying that the plan is to co-parent with the wife, and mentions the fact that he is still going through divorce with the wife, that OP no longer wants mandatory marriage counseling to be a requirement since they have been married for under 2 years at the time than he originally planned on divorcing her. The next reply says OP should get his own therapist, fix himself, his son needs him. Once OP puts the work in for himself, he will have the strength to leave his cheating partner. OP is still on planning leaving the cheating partner, by the way, I will mention that. And this final commenter says that the wife basically destroyed her own life for her French fuckboy, who taped them multiple times already and sabotaged her marriage. Some people have nothing but audacity, and OP replies to this saying he actually feels sorry for her now. She literally said all of that and decided to throw it all away for a night of fun. And now it's time for my commentary, and honestly, I don't feel bad for her. Like, she did this all to herself. All this was a decision she chose to make. This is the reason why I don't like when it was a one-time mistake. No, a one-time mistake is forgetting your car keys, forgetting your household keys, or maybe forgetting to wash out that dish. That's a mistake. You don't make a mistake by cheating. That's not what happened here. Cheating is multiple decisions, multiple choices that somebody chooses to make. And that's what your wife did. She chose every single step to cheat. And your wife cheated not just once, seemingly multiple times. It wasn't just with the one person, with her ex. So honestly, I don't feel bad for her. Screw those therapists as well. Like, those people are crazy. They're so biased in just trying to convince OP that what happened to him is normal, that he should be fine with it. Screw those people. And OP, honestly, never been in your situation before, never want to be in your situation ever, personally. That's just a me thing. But I am wishing you the best in your situation. Honestly, same for the wife, because she's gonna be in the son's life and nobody should want anything to happen negative towards the wife because, you know, she's the mother. Long as she's not a terrible mother, of course. Long as she's not a terrible mother, that she should be involved in the son's life and nothing negative happened to her. So that's the reason why I'm saying that type of thing. But OP, as I said, I wish you the best of luck in your future. I wish your son a healthy relationship with both parents, your son health, your wife to improve on herself, or I should be saying your soon-to-be ex-wife, because you are still on planning to divorce her, which I highly recommend you still push on doing. So once again, I wish you luck, OP. But hey, that was the end of this video. Yes, a one-story video, but hey, this had enough content to be one video. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of this story? But for now, I've been your king, Willis Mikky, And your king is signing off.